A brilliant encounter between history and religion. Oratorio Martires. Hello, I am cellist Gyeongmi Anna Lee, who was in charge of orchestral performance at the Oratorio Martires. We're honored to present our album to the music lovers all around the world, together with the creators and fellow artists. I've been living as a classical cellist all my life and very humbled to perform music. I'm very happy to be part of the music that was being born and the music that was taking its first step into the world. We believe in the eternal power of classical music. I also know how much pure passion and devotion is needed. The librettist Choi Chung-kim wrote the script for nearly a decade. This is because it deals with real people, real events, and the real era when Korean first encounters the West. Composer Jun Lee has devoted nearly 3 years to composing this music of gods and men who breathe in martyrdom and prayer in nearly 200 years of history. Capturing our history in classical music is never done in a single moment. It also takes more courage and effort to get it on the stage. In the music of Oratorio Martires, there is our history, our ancestor, and religious voices, and the voices of the people who are rising up from the time of oppression. And we are thrilled to introduce the album with our own voices. Classical music will be forever from now on. Our voices will be heard through creating and playing more than we do now. The sober intellect through metaphor, the beautiful and pure message of the music, and melody of the music that we want to remember. The human beings and the God, the religion and the history. These are all the musical directions that we want to continue to create. We sincerely hope that the Oratorio Martires album will convey our sincerity and our musical breath. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, I'm opera singer tenor Jiun Kim. Today, I'm honored to introduce you to a live album of Oratorio Martires, which had its world premiere in Seoul last September 2023. The album I'm going to introduce to you today is a musical portrait of the Joseon Dynasty in 1800, when Korea was a united Korea, not the divided Korea of today. It is an oratorio that tells the story of my ancestors who were murdered for their faith and the spread of Catholicism in this small, hidden kingdom in the East during the feudal Joseon Dynasty. I sang the role of Peter Lee SEUNG-HUN, who became the first Korean baptized Christian. You can hear my voice on several tracks on the album. The oratorio's librettist, Choi Chung-kim, spent nearly a decade writing, completing the libretto for a total of 2 acts, 23 songs, and his most beautiful composer, Jin Lee, spent 3 years composing the music for the large-scale oratorio. As an opera singer, I'm proud to play the lead role in an oratorio about Korea's unique history. In the oratorio, the main characters all die. Religious death is called martyrdom, and its Latin name, Martyres, is the title. It wasn't the Vatican or missionaries who brought Christianity to Korea. It was the Korean intellectuals of the time who studied Christianity as a discipline and finally realized for themselves that it was a religion. The amazing power of religion is as true now as it was then, so I'm very happy to be involved in the performance and album production of Martyres, which tells the history of my country in the form of oratory music. Precious heritage is not created overnight. Classical music, especially newly composed classical music, but also oratory music, all of these are difficult to get public attention. We are very aware of that. So we put in more effort and sweat and collaboration and communication. Why I'm introducing you to today our album Oratorio Martires, why I breathe, why I feel alive as an opera singer. It's all because of a beautiful tradition of music and the nobility of a human being and being able to create. We hope all the artists involved will love our album, which they created themselves with their tears and hard work. Thank you very much.
Martyres means martyr in Latin. Oratorio Martires begins with the overture Per aspera ad astra, Beyond Suffering to the Stars, and consists of 23 songs. It was released on 2 albums, Act 1 and Act 2, that includes 2 encores. Korean Gloria Philharmonic, of which I am the general director, performed along with the ancient Catholic choir, the vocal ensemble Voce di Anima, a traditional Korean choir named K-Pan, the oldest boys choir in Korea named Musica Sacra Boys Choir, and 3 solo singers, tenor Jiun Kim, baritone Byung-hyuk Choi, baritone Sung-Hyun Ryu, 1 pansori player, Hyun-Oh Baek, 3 solo Korean traditional instrumentalists, and about 150 people in total, all conducted by Do-won Kim. It took a long time to create, and also in practice and effort. 4 different choirs had to work together. The album we present to you is a live recording of the world premiere of Oratorio Martires. Oratorio Martires consists of 3 orchestral movements, 5 choruses with Latin lyrics, and 14 choruses with Korean lyrics, and a protagonist area. The final chorus, Servant of God, has English lyrics.
The 12 songs in the first act span about 150 years of the religious arrival in Korea. Real people and real historical events spiral into each other. The music captures the words of the first baptizer in Korean history, SEUNG-HUN Petrus, and the prayers and desperation of the early Christians to God amidst persecution, darkness, and trials.
The overture of Act 1 is a musical representation of long period of time when history and religion first meet.
Traditional Korean instruments in the orchestra convey the nervousness of the beginning. Pansori is the voice of the people in the feudal era.
The fourth person who realized religion and wanted to get closer to God connected through song.
A brilliant encounter between history and religion, and finally, the first baptizer is born, and time passes, and the gospel comes to the people like a shadow, like the mist of the dawn, like a long-awaited letter. The final song of Act 1 is the impassioned Latin chorus Liber Cathedralibus.
Red Cathedral, an urgent call to remember the initial effort that led to Myeongdong Cathedral, which will still stand today in Myeongdong, Seoul.
Act 2 opens with a song about the fearful realization that the people are dying amidst persecution and trials.
Some abandon religion, some become snitches, some follow religion, but they realize that they are nothing before God.
Time passes, persecution continues, but the people awaken and rise up.
The Helix Tempest is an orchestral portrait of a turbulent time.
Unlike the players of the early Christians, which were as breathless as night to night and day to day, in real history, almost all Christians die in persecution.
It leads to the great course, the Way of the Martyrs, which is dedicated to the period of persecution in which the most people died. The Martyr's Way is the way of death, but the final English lyrics course, addressed to people living in a time of religious freedom over the death of those 200 years ago, conveys hope, and the whole course unfolds. With Oratorio Martires, we may be artists charged with the sacred task of capturing our history in classical music. We are pleased to present to you these two beautiful albums, and we thank you again and hope that they will be enjoyed by audience around the world. I pray that one day we'll be able to bring this music to you in your place and perform.
Forever, music forever.
Forever, silence on the earth of music tradition and future. Thank you very much.